Connecticut Voice Out Loud is proudly sponsored by Middlesex Health and Foxwoods Resort Casino.
Hello and welcome to Connecticut Voice Out Loud, the first show in Connecticut focused on bringing you stories from the LGBTQ community. I'm Pat Laurie. Thanks for joining us. As thousands of students head back to the classroom this fall, how are colleges and universities across Connecticut welcoming LGBTQ students? In our current issue of Connecticut Voice, we take a look at several institutions that provide an affirming education to those who are out, those still finding their way, and encouraging everyone to be allies. Our Dawn Ennis visited one campus that welcomes LGBTQ youth whose interests include service and the sea.
In the 10 years since the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, a lot's changed in the U.S. military and here at the U.S. Coast Guard Academy in New London.
The repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell impacted a large number of our folks. Up until that point, anybody who was part of the LGBTQ community had to remain closeted or they were removed. We had a group of folks that was ready to go when the repeal came through to put forth the charter for Spectrum.
What is Spectrum? Tell me what that is.
So Spectrum is one of the many affinity councils and clubs that we have here on campus. So pretty much any minority group, any population that could use their voice to be uplifted, to better the community, that's going to be an affinity council. And so Spectrum represents our LGBTQ plus affinity council. We started Spectrum pretty much the day that Don't Ask, Don't Tell was repealed. For cadets that maybe don't have that exposure growing up, you know, we're coming from all walks of life. Many people come in with kind of this very minimal baseline understanding. And so a big job of Spectrum leadership is to hold these educational trainings, these optional discussions, even just morale parties. And so I remember when I was a third class, we just kind of held a game night. And so is that LGBTQ like exclusive? No, not at all. But that's how we get our straight allies to come in and we can have these conversations and these memories and these bonds over somewhat benign activities, but that's what gets the conversation started. And that's how we can communicate to our allies that we're just cadets. We're just like you.
I'm not surprised by the kind of support and the numbers that we get supporting the LGBTQ community. The academy here, again, like many of the other service academies, are all about the mission set and its people. And in order to achieve the mission set, we need our folks to have as much psychological safety, full authenticity as possible, to be 100% themselves.
Tour the grounds of the U.S. Coast Guard Academy in New London, and you'll find it looks pretty much like any college campus. There are old buildings, a band practicing outdoors because of COVID concerns, and there are bears. The football team is just one of a dozen sports played here. And it seems everywhere you go, you'll find someone running. But what's different is that every student you see is studying to serve in the Coast Guard, whose roots date back to 1790 and Alexander Hamilton. The academy itself started on a ship before it moved to Maryland and then Connecticut, and has been on these grounds for almost 90 years. Women have been a part of the academy for 41 of those years. Tradition is important to these cadets, and so is history, even to those too young to have lived through it, like September 11th. This year, the Academy Glee Club took part in the New London commemoration ceremony.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grace.
I think it's crucial to learn about 9/11 because especially as a military service, but more specifically as the Coast Guard as part of Homeland Security, we were radically changed by the events of 9/11. Homeland Security came out of that. Coast Guard was swept under there from the Department of Transportation. And pretty much everything that we were and everything that we are today came as a result of that day. To be completely honest and, open and transparent, I cannot remember ever learning about 9/11 in elementary school.
In Iowa.
In Iowa. Not to say that I didn't, but if I did, it was nothing that ever left kind of that oomph in my heart. And so I was actually watching a documentary about it this year, and I think this year was genuinely the first time I ever saw the videos of the planes hitting the Twin Towers. And it just rocked me to my core. I was almost crying at my desk on a Tuesday morning to know that there was all of this history that I didn't know.
I'm transgender. My pronouns are she, hers. How do you identify, and what are your pronouns?
So I identify as bisexual, and I use she, her pronouns.
I just recently came out to a small group of folks about a year or so ago. The cadets, by and large, at least those in the Spectrum Council, know that I'm out, and I guess this is, in a sense, my public coming out moment right now.
Wait, you're coming out on TV in this interview?
Honestly, I think it's going to be fine. I have no concerns about that. The Academy really has done a good job of making everyone feel as welcome as they can here.
I didn't know anything about the Coast Guard. I grew up in Iowa, and so my afloat experience was not diverse at all. But both my parents were Army, and so my parents love and support me in my identity, but they were worried when I was coming to the Academy about that aspect of my identity. I was shocked to find out that my executive officer, so number 2 in command for my company, was the most out there black gay man I have ever met in my life. His name was Chandon Davis, and just a joy, just contagious energy, but was unashamedly out, proud and gay. And he actually was the president of Spectrum at the time, and so he's the one who kind of brought me into the fold and told me, this is what Spectrum does, and this is who we are, and this is what we can do for you. And so within that same month, I actually eventually did come out to the rest of my company, and I've been out ever since. And so that's what I'd like to think that Spectrum is still now, and that I can do for other people, is bringing those people into the fold as early as 4th class, so that the minute that they walk onto campus, they know that, oh, I don't have to hide here. I don't have to be in the closet here. I can be 100% who I am and unashamedly proud, and just that contagious, loving energy that Channing gave to me. It was definitely something that I really benefited from my 4th class year.
The more cadets can see themselves represented in the higher ranks, the better off that they will feel.
You see, it's not just running and drilling and sailing here at the Coast Guard Academy. It's also football, the Coast Guard Bears. It's part of the education that LGBTQ cadets experience here in New London. For Connecticut Voice Out Loud, I'm Don Ennis.
The Bears play their next home game in New London on Saturday, October 30th. You can learn more about the U.S. Coast Guard Academy at uscga.edu. Coming up later in the show, Christopher Byrne takes a trip to Prospect Park in Brooklyn as he sits down with Connecticut native and American Ballet Theater principal dancer James Whiteside to hear about his new book, Center Center. You won't want to miss this interview. Exciting things are happening at Foxwoods Resort Casino. Our Ashley Cole hits the road to show us what we can look forward to this fall. But first, when we come back, health and wellness. We'll talk to 2 clinicians at Middlesex Health who provide outstanding care to the LGBTQ community. You're watching Connecticut Voice Out Loud.
Foxwoods Resort Casino. Book now at foxwoods.com.
At Lux Bond & Green, we have been designing and crafting custom jewelry for decades. It's an art as much as a science, and really there's no room for error. It comes down to 100 little choices made by our own artists and experts who listen to you and create your perfect engagement ring by hand. Quality, value, and selection. Available at Lux Bond & Green Jewelers with locations throughout Massachusetts and Connecticut.
Ready?
Ready?
Maybe the definition of family is simple. It's everyone you trust to take care of you when you really need it. Middlesex Health, the smarter choice for care.
Turning to health and wellness, when it comes to patient advocacy, medical assistant Brandy Andres and licensed practical nurse Candace Brooks are fierce. They spend a lot of their time working with transgender patients, providing a safe zone of ethical treatment for all.
The best nurses advocate for their patients because you're supposed to be your patient's voice. And that's really what it's all about. I feel like it just comes naturally for me to do that.
I love what I do. I wouldn't change it for the world. I've always wanted to work in the medical field my whole life, so I'm very passionate about my job.
Where I want them to feel accepted and I want them to feel relaxed. I just treat patients how I would like to be treated if I was on the other side of it. So I just try to be warm and welcoming and kind of give them that feeling like they're in a safe haven once they walk through our doors, that they can be themselves fully and they'll be fully accepted and respected.
So how do you provide that welcome vibe?
So for me, it depends on the energy that they're giving when they come through the door. Some people are very nervous. Some patients are very timid. And some aren't. Some are, gung-ho, they're ready to go. They're very chatty and, you kind of just feed off the patient's energy. And then I talk to them kind of according to what they're giving me.
So what are some of the ways that you advocate for patients?
We have to advocate for them with insurance companies. We have to advocate for them with the pharmacies. So we're really, the main way that we advocate for them is being their voice where they can't be. Even in this day and age, to the pharmacists and the pharmacy techs and the staff at the pharmacy, the gender care is still very either unknown or, just misunderstood. So you have to advocate for the patient because sometimes they'll just give them whatever they want to give them and won't ask the patient any questions. And then they're dispensing things in the wrong way. And the patient's showing up in our office for a teaching with me and they don't have the correct supplies.
I mean, I'm part of the community, so that makes it more for me. I came from an area where I moved here from South Florida, so it's very dominant. And I have a lot of gender friends and I have a lot of drag queens. So I know, I've seen it firsthand. I've gone through a lot of it with my friends. So coming here and working with my provider just made me feel like I was finally able to do something for my community.
What do you want people to most understand about the transgender community?
They have had a very hard life and you just don't understand their feelings. And sometimes you just need to put yourself in their shoes.
How do you provide a safe zone for patients?
You make them feel as comfortable and as welcome as you possibly can. You smile and I have a good rapport with my patients because I talk to them on the phone constantly. So most of them already know who I am. But even for the new ones, you just have to make them feel at ease so that when they do come, they're not as stressed as they would normally be.
Tell me a little bit about what kind of support you offer.
I listen, I chat with them on my chart, and I always offer support and say, if you ever need anything, just call me. I'm always here. So just giving myself to them and saying I'm available when you need me makes them feel a lot better.
And even if you never see them again, they might not remember your name, but they'll always remember how you made them feel, always.
Middlesex Health is really leading the way with sensitivity training. Candace and Brandy say one of the easiest ways to make a person feel comfortable is to pay attention to a patient's preferred name instead of their given name. You're watching Connecticut Voice Out Loud, where we celebrate pride all year long.
The moment you walk into the bubbly Rainbow Suite, you're greeted by 6 smiling drag queens. What more could you ask for? Well, Foxwoods has this and so much more. We'll tell you all about it coming up.
If you're looking to start a family, talk to us. We're the Center for Advanced Reproductive Services. For the past 35 years, we've been providing expert fertility care with over 100 dedicated staff members focused on your dream. Since we opened our doors, we've celebrated the births of over 15,000 babies and still counting. Begin your journey with just one call. 844-HOPE-IVF. UConnfertility.com.
You asked, we listened. Get new benefits and faster rewards with Foxwoods Rewards. Now advance to the next tier level faster with tier credit multiplier days every month. Now earn points faster with rewards point accelerators. Still so many ways to use your points. More locations at Tanger outlets at Foxwoods, dining, cash, and now redeem your points for gas at Pequot Outpost 1 for 1. Plus hotel stays, Norwegian Cruise Line cruises, Caribbean vacations, and so much more. Sign up for Foxwoods Rewards today. Voted #1 Players Club 2 years in a row.
At Middlesex Health, we're doing more to make healthcare better for you, with more personal attention to get you back to your best. And more of today's most innovative, life-saving treatments. We're bringing more second chances to communities throughout central Connecticut and the shoreline. And finding more ways to treat every member of your family like a member of ours. Together, it all adds up to the new Middlesex Health. Today's smarter choice for care.
The 9th floor of the Fox Tower is this colorful escape that I'm lucky enough to be in today with Shannon Peterson. The bubbly rainbow suite, it really is an escape, but it's the place to come before or after you have a great time here at Foxwoods.
Yes, we are here in our brand new bubbly rainbow suite, and we've totally revamped this hotel suite in our Fox Tower Hotel. Everything from our bubbly bar to these amazing Instagrammable installations. I mean, this rainbow, there's colorful pillows everywhere, so it's such a fun place to stay with your friends, and you can actually book this stay on our website, so just go to foxwoods.com and come have a night out with your friends.
I also love the culture and the history and all of the inspiration that you can find throughout the room.
Yes, we have so many fun LGBTQ plus installations here, artwork. We have some fun drag queens framed over here on our wall, and it's just a celebration of embracing who you are and really just having fun in this space.
And it really does make you want to go out and have fun and party and celebrate, and it puts you in that mood, that mindset.
Exactly. I mean, rainbows, colorful, I mean, just have a drink. There's bubbly, a bar over here, so it's just a really fun place to stay.
This room embodies the Live Out Loud campaign.
It does, and Live Out Loud really means celebrating and embracing the unique differences that each and every person has. At Foxwoods, we welcome everyone to come celebrate here with us, regardless of age, gender, sexual orientation, race. It's all about just embracing who you are and having fun.
Entertainment. There is no shortage of that here at Foxwoods, that's for sure.
No, we bring the biggest names here to Foxwoods, from Chelsea Handler to ABBA's coming up, a tribute artist on October 30th, to Hall & Oates. There are so many big names here, and you're not going to want to miss it. You can buy tickets at foxwoods.com.
One thing I'm always thinking about, Shannon, is food. And the food here, the restaurants, they are really second to none.
Yes, here at Foxwoods, we have over 30 restaurants for every taste, budget, and appetite. Cedar Steaks and Oysters is a Foxwoods favorite here. They offer the freshest ingredients and the best steaks and seafood. And if you're into this colorful fun, you have to check out Sugar Factory. It is a celebrity hotspot, and they offer all the best sweets and treats and just colorful fun with amazing over-the-top cocktails.
I've always wanted to go there.
Oh,
that's on my bucket list.
Yes, you
I'd
have
love to go there. And after you're done eating or enjoying a sweet treat, make sure you get some shopping in. Lots of opportunities for that.
Yes, you know I love any good excuse to go shopping, and as we transition from summer to fall, the Tanger Outlets is the best place to go. We have over 70 stores in the Tanger Outlets, and it's just your one-stop shop to all things shopping. We have stores like Michael Kors, H&M, J. Crew, and best deals you can find around. It's one of the only indoor outlets that you can find, so you can just come in regardless of the weather and shop till you drop.
Right, until you drop. And if you want to drop here at Foxwoods, there's lots of hotel rooms that you can crash in.
Yes, we have 4 hotels here at Foxwoods. And we have 2 renowned spas, the G Spa and the Norwich Spa at Foxwoods. So after you're done shopping, come relax, pamper yourselves, enjoy a massage or a facial, and you know it's perfect for a girls' night or even a couples retreat.
And this room, the Bubbly Rainbow Suite, can be where you drop as well.
Yes, this room is actually, you can actually book it. It's available at foxwoods.com. So whether it's a girls' night, a bachelor
party, bachelorette party, or just like a fun trip, this is definitely the room you're gonna wanna stay in.
Shannon, every time I get to talk to you, I am so blown away by all that Foxwoods has to offer. Not just in entertainment and the exciting things that you do offer to people, but also just what you represent. Inclusion, acceptance, love, and it really does embody everything that anyone could want.
Yes, and we welcome everyone to come live out loud with us at Foxwoods, and for all this information that we talked about today, visit foxwoods.com.
I'm Christopher Byrne at Lincoln Center in New York, and coming up, we catch up with James Whiteside about his artistic journey, all in his new book, Center Center.
My name is Dawn Gagliardi. I am on the Corrado Group at Coldwell Banker. I am a real estate agent and I work with both buyers and sellers. I currently live in West Hartford, Connecticut, which is actually where I grew up. I cover all of the greater Hartford area and all of Connecticut. I also have a great team of realtors and connections all throughout the country, so I can help people buy or sell a home anywhere in the country. I'm able to help my clients buy their perfect homes and sell their homes for top dollar.
At Middlesex Health, we're doing more to make healthcare better for you, with more personal attention to get you back to your best, and more of today's most innovative, life-saving treatments. We're bringing more second chances to communities throughout central Connecticut and the shoreline, and finding more ways to treat every member of your family like a member of ours. Together, it all adds up to the new Middlesex Health, today's smarter choice for care.
Come for the sunset and stay for the sunrise. Experience the best in waterfront tranquility at Saybrook Point Inn, Marina and Spa. Enjoy water views, luxurious accommodations, and outdoor dining with a marina view. Join us on the terrace for live summer music or spend the day pampering yourself at our full-service spa. Check out midweek special packages at Saybrook.com and book now. Saybrook Point Inn, your place for rest and relaxation. Your seaside staycation awaits.
Hi, I'm Christopher Byrne, editor of Connecticut Voice, and today we're at New York's Lincoln Center, home of American Ballet Theater. Since 1939, ABT has been one of the premier dance companies in the world. Among the principal dancers is James Whiteside. James Whiteside has been with ABT since 2012, promoted to soloist in 2013. He's danced many of the major roles with the company, but not content just to do the classics, he's also been an innovative visionary, choreographing his own dances, which you can see on YouTube and in other places. And he was on the very first cover of Connecticut Voice. Well, now he's also written a book. He calls it a semi-memoir because it's got plays, it's got all kinds of really interesting things in it, and of course, the story of his life and how he found dance and how it transformed him. So we're heading over to Prospect Park in Brooklyn to sit down with James and talk to him and find out all about his new book. Thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure. Thanks so much, Chris.
The book is called Center Center, and it's an almost memoir by ABT principal dancer James Whiteside.
Center Center signifies the center of a stage's width and depth, and it's a place that I've always aspired to stand.
Talk a little bit about how you found your way to ABT.
It was sort of a circuitous route to ABT. I spent 10 years dancing in Boston Ballet, working my way up from apprentice to principal dancer. And ABT was always my dream company, so I kept auditioning, kept getting rejected over and over and over again. And finally, in 2012, I was admitted to American Ballet Theater as a soloist. And the following year, I was promoted to principal.
Woohoo! Part of what you write about is becoming aware and coming out as a gay man. How did you make that happen, or how did you find that?
The chapter is called Coming Out in Y2K, and I came out over the course of 1999 and the year 2000. And actually, there was a guy in my high school who made a bet with his friends that he could get me to come out. And what he didn't realize was that he was going to fall for me. So we ended up dating for a while. But the chapter's really fun.
One of the things you've written about in the book is, as a principal dancer and a soloist, you've played all of these princes and macho, heterosexual men, but you felt stymied a little bit as an artist in doing that. How did you deal with that?
Well, in playing the princes of the big classical ballets, I love getting to act as different characters, but I was missing that gay touch that I so value. So I created two alter egos. One, JB Dubs, who is a pop musician. I write all my own music, lyrics, etc. and then a drag queen named Yoo-Hoo Betch. My friends and I formed a group of drag queens called the Dairy Queens, and we had a milk, we had skim, we had jugs au lait, butter. It was all dairy themed, and my name was Yoo-Hoo after the chocolate flavored drink.
But one of the things that fascinated me is you wrote that you're not a specific woman, but you're every woman. What is that? What did you tap into yourself in that?
Well, I'm a gay man, and I have a very specific fascination with all things woman. And so as a drag queen, I think it's very fun to be this sort of honest obsession representation of all things woman. And that's just not one woman, but it's all women. It's very fun and exciting and freeing, honestly.
And as you performed as JB Dubs and as Yoo-Hoo Betch, did you find yourself liberated in ways?
I perform on large classical stages, and then to perform as a drag queen or as a gay pop artist in a club setting, I'm getting both itches scratched.
What do you say to young people who are starting to discover themselves?
One of the things I say to young people, and that I wish I could have said to myself when I was young, was to stop comparing myself to other people. And as an artist, you know, I'm an interpretive artist as well, so I'm doing roles that have been done forever in Swan Lake, Sleeping Beauty, Romeo and Juliet, and it's hard not to compare myself to other people. But it's very important to have a unique identity as an artist, and that is what ends up being celebrated. So yeah, don't compare yourself to anybody else.
So if somebody's reading this book, what is it you'd like them to take away from it?
First of all, I want people to have a good time reading it, but most of all, I want people to feel seen. I want them to feel excited about their creative endeavors, and I want them to be bold.
In one of the latter chapters of the book, you talk about yourself in your younger days with a bunch of kids, and your mantra was, why not? Is that still your mantra?
It is, was, and always will be my mantra.
Well, James, thank you so much for spending the time with us today. We really appreciate it. The book is called Center Center, and if you ever want to read an amazing story of the life of an amazing artist, you better read it. The book really is incredible. I found myself at times laughing out loud at some of the antics, some of his friends, some of the crazy stuff that they came up with, and at the same time really understanding the process of an artist discovering himself. Right now, James is getting ready for the fall season at ABT, right here, and you can also catch him on his podcast, The Right Side with James Whiteside.
What an awesome interview. I'm really looking forward to reading the book. Hey, Connecticut Voice Out Loud is proud to announce the first ever Connecticut Voice Honors taking place next May at Foxwoods Resort Casino. We're paying tribute to the individuals, organizations, and companies whose commitment to inclusion, diversity, and advocacy for LGBTQ+ communities has helped to establish Connecticut as a leader in the country. If you'd like to learn about any of these stories or have a story idea of your own to share, visit our website at CTVoice.com and be sure to connect with us on social media. You'll be able to access articles, social media, events, and our past television shows. Until next time, for Connecticut Voice Out Loud, I'm Pat Laurie.